Well, first, the president felt it was responsible to propose a way to pay for his proposal. That's exactly what he did. He knows some members think it's too big, some think it's too small. Frankly, there have been folks who have come out on both sides, which we fully expected. He knows that some will come forward with different ways to pay for this package, and some may have views that it shouldn't be paid for at all. So we fully expect that from Senator Manchin and other members, and we expect the question of how to pay for the package, if we should pay for the package, to be part of the discussion moving forward.
The White House is open to that conversation.
We're open to hearing ideas and proposals from members, and we encourage them to put them forward.
So what used to be a bipartisan thing, building this country better, making this country more efficient, making the grid reliable, getting broadband to rural places that don't have access to it, putting electric charging stations, taking the federal fleet of vehicles and making sure that they're electric vehicles for the future. Just like, you see buses now sometimes in cities that are electric or, that are using renewable fuels, right? And so it used to be a bipartisan thing, but now, of course, because Republicans are Republicans and they're not in power, all of a sudden infrastructure sucks. It's bad. Now, remember that Donald Trump said the reason why he didn't do infrastructure in his first year is because it was so easy. It was so easy that he was going to do it in his second year. And of course, it never got done because they never bothered to put together any sort of a package. Okay, so they failed at roads, they failed at bridges, they failed about any broadband investment. And what we have here is an evolving economy. Okay, we used to be a manufacturing economy. America used to manufacture things, and we had about a third of our workforce working in manufacturing. We are now a service economy. That is what we are. And so in a service economy, you want broadband or you can't be part of it. You need access to the internet or you can't be part of it. You need cell phone towers or you can't be part of it. You need an energy efficient way to deliver things or you can't be part of it. You need clean water or your children will have behavioral difficulties and they can't be part of anything. And we all know that, including the Republicans. And that's why they were promoting infrastructure. Infrastructure week, it's going to be infrastructure. We deserve the best. Look at our airports, they're disgusting. This is what they said. And guess what? 80% of Americans agree with it. 80%. What there isn't agreement on is how to pay for it or even whether to pay for it. Now, Republicans don't want to pay for it. Seriously, they don't. And you know this because when they passed their mega tax cut in 2017 for the wealthiest Americans, they didn't pay for it. And you know that they don't want to pay for it because they don't want to tax corporate interests. They don't want to tax them, which now means that they want you to pay for it, and you can't pay for it up front. You can only pay for it as you use it. And that's what they want. They want user fees. They want gas taxes, and they want, toll roads, public-private partnerships. When you hear them say public-private partnerships, what they mean is we'll give these massive building contracts to our favorite companies who are going to support our reelection campaigns. Then we'll award them the contracts to build. And then on the back end, they're going to charge you to be on their toll road. Or they're going to charge the government to house a prisoner in their for-profit prison. Or they're going to charge to house an immigrant in their for-profit, detention center. That's what they mean when they say public-private partnership. The private gets all the money and you get to pay them. And that's all they're interested in. They don't want their job creators, their corporate donors. They don't want them to pay for anything ever, including tax cuts for themselves. They should never be molested. Not a hair on their head should be disturbed. It's very sick and it's very sad. Now, Joe Manchin was caught on a talk show, I think yesterday, saying that he knows that he's the 50th senator. And pretty much this can go through reconciliation. And he knows this. And so he's saying, look, I got leverage. And I think 28% corporate tax rate, going back to that, is too much. He's for a 25% corporate tax rate. Now, he used to be for a 28% corporate tax rate. You know, when it was 35%, he liked 28. Now he wants 25, and he's going to be a contrarian because that's what Joe Manchin is. So he was telling, a talk show host that, if I don't sign on, they got nothing. They got no way forward.
And then there's West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin. Earlier today, he made clear what he wants from the bill.
This bill will not be in the same form you've seen it introduced or see people talking about it. And if I don't vote to get on it, it's not going anywhere. So we're going to have some leverage here. And it's more than just me, Hoppy. There's 6 or 7 other Democrats that feel very strongly about this.
And while he wants Republican buy-in, he warned that Republicans can't just oppose everything. Meanwhile, economists at Georgetown University have estimated that a $1.5 trillion infrastructure investment could create roughly 15 million jobs and could put the United States on par with countries around the globe that shuttle their citizens from town to town on high-speed trains, the Autobahn, and wide bike lanes.
No, it's not for America. And Joe Manchin isn't interested in creating 15 million jobs for West Virginians or anybody in this country. No, he's interested in being a contrarian. So guess what Biden did? Guess what he did, everybody? Guess. You remember how peeved Joe Manchin was when Kamala Harris went on local West Virginia television? Remember? Why would that just peeve him? Why would that piss him off? Because West Virginia is his bubble, and no one should get inside his bubble. No one gets access to West Virginians. No one gets to talk to West Virginians unless they're Joe Manchin. Well, Joe Biden just invested a whole lot of cash into a massive ad campaign promoting the benefits of this infrastructure package. And he tailored it to each and every difficult place where either Republicans will gum up the works or, in this case, Joe Manchin will. So what we have now is an entire ad campaign called America Strong that deals with infrastructure, and the ad, backed by lots and lots of money, is going to run in West Virginia. Because Joe Manchin has got to understand that West Virginians would love these jobs. They're great paying. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to RandiRhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.